What's going on, guys? Colin here from High Caliber Growing, and today I'm going to show you how to build your very own worm bin. So in my other video I showed you how to set up a store-bought vermicomposter or worm bin. Those are great, they work really well. I have since discontinued mine and used some of the worms to start this worm bin, and the rest I put into my Smart Pot compost sack in the garden to help break down the organic material in those compost sacks a little faster. But this way to build a worm bin is really simple. All you need is these are Rubbermaid tubs, and what I did is I bought two 18-gallon tubs and one 10-gallon tub. The bottom 18-gallon tub is my runoff reservoir, so any excess moisture from my actual bin will drain into this bottom tub. I added a spigot to make it real easy to use that, since that's worm tea. It's great fertilizer for the garden. But what you do is you put your 10-gallon tub into your bottom reservoir like that, and then you'll put your other 18-gallon tub into that one. Then you drill 1/4-inch holes all through to the bottom. And what I did is, to keep any worms from falling into this tub, into my bottom reservoir, I added a little layer of, this is a mesh, kind of like a screen door mesh, and I just lay that in between this 10-gallon and this tub. So that's basically what it's going to look like when it's finished. And if you notice, I have tape over 1/2-inch holes up here at the top, and the reason for that is because when I first started running this, I got a whole lot of gnats and fruit flies because it was open, but I needed these holes to provide air for the worms. So what we did is we added an air pump, and I basically just run this tube in through one of the holes on the side and then into the bottom of this tub, and that keeps a lot of oxygen into all of my organic material that is in this tub. So if you're doing one of these indoors and you've got an issue with fruit flies or any other kind of pest, covering up those air holes and using an air pump works great. So anyways, let's get inside this worm bin and see how it is doing, and then I'll show you how to harvest worm castings from your worm bin as well. Okay, so you can kind of tell over the last few weeks I've been feeding mostly onto this side to get ready for harvesting our castings. This way the worms will kind of congregate over here underneath the food, hopefully, and then I'll have less worms to sift through as I sift through this for the castings. And it looks like it's working. I don't really see a whole lot of worms, maybe a few smaller ones over here, and then over here, yeah, there we go. So you can kind of see them piling up underneath my old banana peels and eggshells and food scraps. When it comes to harvesting your worm castings, there's a few ways that it can be done. I prefer just getting a screen or a colander and kind of shaking out the material that doesn't really have the food in it. I'll kind of be careful not to grab any of the worms and just sift through it that way. Today I'm going to be using an old tray from my store-bought vermicomposter. It's got 1/4-inch size holes and a big tray, so it makes it easy for me to get quite a bit of worm castings fairly quick. So what you'll do is just kind of throw your material onto your screen, whatever you're using to sift through. If you get some worms in there, it's all right because you're not going to be too rough on them. Just try and keep the bigger bits of food because you're obviously they're not going to make it through the sift anyways. That'll be good to start. And then you're just going to shake it out onto your tray, whatever you're using, to collect them. And you can use a much smaller hole size. Some people even use like a window screen to get really fine worm castings, to get all that food matter out. This 1/4-inch size is doing a great job. If you can see here, that's real fine, and you really hardly see any unbroken down food material, which is what you want. Alright guys, well I'm going to get some more worm castings harvested, but thanks for tuning in as always, and be sure to check back for more ways to grow good things with SmartPot.